Koshka will be picking, and I think they'll go for Gwen. Because Tenchibo Gwen with Koshka and Lance is extremely strong early, and they're going to shut down Rogue in early game.
This is a very strong early game composition. It's one that you have to have a little bit of concern, because if TeamSoloMid doesn't destroy Rogue in the early game, this is one that Rogue can very easily just kind of stall out and get to the late game. With the Kestrel coming through, though, this is going to be interesting as to where they're going to put each hero, because you have to assume it's going to be Celeste out of the jungle.
We haven't seen a tremendous...
We heard the analysts talk about this. Do you agree with what they said, how this game's going to play out?
Yes, I am going to agree with them. It's... TSM are looking very strong. We're seeing a lot of the comfort picks coming out from them. Gwen, Best Chuck NA, and then Koshka and Von C. You know, he made that Koshka famous during Worlds, and he's been playing a lot in the past splits. I have every inch of confidence in him.
Oh my lord. I am happy to be in here. And to have TSM Rogue, what a matchup to hop back into the casting schedule. So very excited. Right off the bat, though, we can see that Rogue really not looking to do anything aggressive. They're going to hang back, just get that defensive farm rotation out of the jungle. Von C happy to take that Elder Treant and maybe even try to take the mid away from Rogue as well, though Sibs gets that scout trap down. He knows what's happening. Should see Von C moving in over here, although he's going to get jumped on. Von C getting some damage down. Flash with a wild impale. I don't know about that one. Sibs trading the damage. Should he get it? Oh, he gets the first blood right there. Happy to do so. Now it's going to be Flash chased out of the jungle here. Rogue with the first blood.
That's exactly what they need to be doing. We need to be seeing strong rotations coming out from Rogue. Just stay in the early game. They're playing very much a late game composition with that Celeste and with that Finn as well. So if they can like prevent Von C from invading as he was doing, then it just keeps him in for a little bit longer. And I actually wasn't expecting Sibs to survive that.
I wasn't either, and it looked like Flash just completely misread the situation. I don't know if that's your perspective as well. Is that impale? I called it a wild impale, but it seemed like he was just kind of reading where he thought Sibs might move and just completely misread it.
Well, Sibs was doing a really good job of dodging Von C, and actually it looked quite funny for a bit, because a lot of the glimmer shots were actually missing Von C for a little bit, but he was doing a really good job of like dodging Flash X and dodging Von C, that he was able to pick up the kill. And especially a Koshka going to Kestrel, that should be an easy matchup for Von C there, and it just didn't work that time.
I really like what Sibs is doing. We can see right now he's just getting straight into weapon damage. There's no boots, nothing else coming out on his build here, and he's not trying to be very mobile in these fights, right? He's just trying to farm as quickly as possible, and if they do engage, he has that damage to put down.
Yeah, well, 15 to Von C's 19. We're not seeing any more invasions coming from Von C. Like you said, it's all about just trying to clear that farm as quickly as possible, go up to lane, give Hammy a hand, because I think the analysts touched on this for Europe, that we are seeing the return of the Crystal Mages. We haven't really seen much of them before. It's very much weapon dependent before, and it's good seeing Celeste having a comeback. But heroes that are always really good against these Crystal Mages were assassins, like Koshka, like Taka. We don't see a Taka this game. And once she gets that lockdown, it is going to make things difficult for Hammy.
All right, well, Sibs getting threatened again here as Flash and Von C making the rotation. Oh, he jumps in Chazzy over the wall. Hammy's down. Best Chuck getting some pretty good damage out. They can't trade back. Sibs, you are in a bad place. 2 kills for TeamSoloMid. A little bit cleaner of a fight for them there.
It was very nicely done, though. We just saw them jump, just the over-the-wall jump, just completely took them by surprise. I think Hammy tried to land the core collapse, didn't really work. Partly, you have to look at the mobility coming up from Von C, but also if you look at TSM, all 3 of them were in super close range. I just don't think they really knew how to cope, because if you're right in Rogue's faces, that is not a place where you want to be if you're a Rogue.
Caught me off guard. I mean, of course, you know, the Koshka has that ability. I thought maybe they were just kind of like reading the situation a little bit, but it was really smart. I liked what Von C did there. So they strike back and up 2 kills to 1 here. 4.5 minutes into this game. Net worth pretty even. Von C making a rotation up here. Yummy Cat and Frenzy. Why does he have this already? That's not right. Hammy. Oh, he used to be alive. Now gone. This is going to be a little pressure here up in the lane. Sibs was back to base, so he's going to have to go ahead and run out here. Just phenomenal rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. And Evil's stuck in a bit of a tough place. He was about to go home, pick up that fountain, but he's stuck there with 1800 gold until someone gets to that lane. We do see Sibs sneaking up there. But That was what we want to be seeing from Vonsi. There is no, well, there's a reflex block on Sibs, but there's nothing on Hammy there, and you do have to be careful, especially with so much lockdown in the hands of TSM. And they're playing so much for the early game. We're seeing Best Chuck NA picking up that tension bow. We've seen quite a few Gwens today. Not all of them went for the tension bow, some of them went for the Sorrow Blade. But if you're going for the tension bow, you want to be able to apply that pressure, which some of the European teams weren't able to do with that tension bow.
Yeah. And also, you know, he's going against a very squishy jungler, a very squishy laner. If you get on target, you should be able to blow him up pretty well. I think we're seeing that happening right now. Vonsi, Flash making the rotation up in the lane one more time. One shot's going to connect onto Vonsi. Doesn't look like we're going to see a full engage here, as both teams pretty aware of what's happening. Although Sibs is just kind of a dangerous place. It's going to be boots activated. Core Collapse was down defensively just in case. Best Chuck continues to poke onto this turret here. This is going to be Rogue just trying to buy a little bit of time. Vonsi just jumping back again, completely zoning Sibs out for making any sort of sneaky rotations around the bottom side of this fight. Again, he jumps forward. Sibs is down below. Yeah, he's below 50% health just off this harassment here. Now, Hammy's stunned up. You got to get back. A lot of action happening. They just dive right in. Look at that damage coming out of Best Chuck. And that's another kill. 4-1. TeamSoloMid know what they're doing here. Vonsi gets Sibs on the backside. Come on, have some mercy, guys.
I feel like I shouldn't be laughing.
No, let me do the laughing. You do the analyzing.
Okay, thanks. Well, they dead. They dead.
They dead.
That's what they were. You know, Flash X, he's the roam, went in with the impale, and he just took so much health of Hammy. I mean, they're the same level. There is a major level discrepancy between the two teams now. And actually, the gold, there's a little bit of a small gold difference. It's only 1.4k. Maths. I don't know why I did that. But
well, Shingy, our analyst talked about the scaling of both of these compositions, right? And getting into the late game, Rogue are going to be pretty insane with what they can accomplish. Oh, they have very obvious like wombo combo potential. Besides that, how do these fights really play out for them?
Well, we kind of pointed at the start when we saw Vonsi going for the early invasion onto Sibs. That was actually a really good move from Rogue, but unfortunately it looks like TSM have really gotten to the swing of things. What they need to be doing is just play super defensively, just rely on Hammy's core collapse, Supernovas, have Sibs just poke out the glimmer shots. Right now I just don't think they can do too much. They just need to lose that turret and just pull back and defend. And I'm thinking make it to the late game once Hammy reaches level 8 and just gets a little bit more items. And I think that's when they can start picking their fights. But for now, they just need to let TSM aggress onto them.
Well, TSM is aggressing, and that's going to be turret down, so net worth starting to build up. Gold Miner will be going their way as well. Although it was pretty clear Rogue knew exactly, I mean, it's exactly what you said. We're not going to go ahead and try to defend this turret with our lives. We can't stop it. We just have to continue to try and get some levels, get some gold. And, when they get the level 8, maybe on Finn, the level 8 coming out of Celeste, maybe they look to try and make a stand. Hopefully, at that point, they're not too far behind in the network.
Yeah, I think part of the issue is, if you were looking at the roams, Finn, he's actually not seen that much gameplay, and I think part of the reason is mobility-wise, it seems super obvious, but if you compare it to Lance, where you have so much just ability to gap close, to stun people, and you look at that Finn and the Koshka matchup, and you're just like, I just don't see that working, and you look at Best Chuck NA going to that Finn as well, and you're like, if he gets pulled in, you can just skedaddle it, you can block it, it's quite difficult for Evil to try and just catch them out, which is what this composition is about. It's about Evil just taking advantage of any missteps that TSM are doing and capitalizing on that.
I mean, there's certain heroes in the game that, personally, when I'm playing Finn, I don't really want to pull. Gwen and Lance, definitely a couple of those heroes. It's just, the escape mechanics are very strong. Best Chuck, he's in a bad place. Sib's lighting him up, but he misses a couple glimmers there at the end. One shot. Well, that's going to connect on the Flash, but after their Sentry is defeated, 2 lives remaining on that. But another successful rotation out of TSM.
Very successful. They're just sticking it so well as a team right now. If you're looking at the CS, Chuck NA 102 to Hammy's 79. That's quite a big difference, and we're actually seeing Hammy stick up in the lane quite a lot, so we'd be expecting it to be a bit higher than it actually is. So he's got the Frostburn. I really like that. Always see a Celeste going for a Frostburn first, by variation. But I think when you're going against a very mobile composition that TSM have picked together, you need that Frostburn to help slow it down. You can use it defensively, offensively. But right now, we're just not really seeing the Helios have that much effect. The core collapses aren't really landing again because of the mobility. And Solar Storm, it's not going to be hitting too much right now. Oh, there they go.
Oh yeah, their boots forward. Impale's gonna be off the mark here. Kobo comes through, not too much damage, even with that turret going out on a TSM. Sibs, your stealth's up just enough stealth to get him out of harm's way there as Von C was looking for a kill. And one shot's gonna come through, lands on the best Chuck. Evol's trying to stand forward for his team. You can see when Sibs does connect with those glimmer shots, it's pretty good damage. They're gonna pull Flash back. He activates that Crucible, trying to get back there, holding the found self fountain. They get him. Rogue making the plays here.
Oh, they're looking so healthy. Evo's 3/4. Hammy and Sibs haven't lost anything. They just lost a bit of energy, and I think they're in a really good position to try and take this gold mine back. Just balance that gold discrepancy a little bit. They're about 5k behind. This should help just equalize it a little bit. And this is, I think, we're beginning to see them in terms of composition coming into their power spikes. But I think a lot of it does come down to gameplay. I think their movements as a team aren't as good as TSM's. Sibs, what are you doing, Sibs?
Sibs knows what he's doing, all right? This
I
man, I never
I know.
question him. Actually, I do. But don't tell him.
He knows.
Sibs, oh, he's gonna
He
go ahead and
knows.
get that mid there. Von C trying to steal it again. Sibs says, I don't think so, mate. Looks like he'll be able to get his backs as well. So very good for the Kestrel here. Like you said, power spikes, they're starting to come online here. Net worth is not in their favor, but they're not so far behind where they can't really execute. So I think, once again, we're going to be looking for a nice force to cord, something to set this up here. Although I don't think Flash is going to be getting caught again very easily. One shot does land onto Flash. Full adrenaline stacks for Kestrel as he looks for a target moving forward here. No, this is just kind of a poke game right now, right?
Yeah, it is. I think my issue is right now is that TSM, they had a really strong early game. They took the first target very quickly, just very quickly accrued that massive gold lead. But it's beginning to drop off a little bit, and I feel like that they should be doing more to take control of Rogue's jungle. Because we're seeing Sibs picking up his backs every single time. I feel like that shouldn't be happening. And you're just letting Rogue back into the game very slowly. They just need to be a little bit more aggressive. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if they just take control of the jungle, it makes it so much more difficult for Hammy and Sibs because they have to decide on how they want to split the gold at that point.
Well, Shingy, one of the things I've been watching here in the last few minutes, Best Shuck did grab an infusion that was timed out. I'm not sure what level, it was like a level 8 infusion. And now we see Flash halfway through his infusion. They really haven't made much happen. Von C just pops his own infusion. So, I mean, what's this mean for them if they're not able to capitalize on this?
Well, they tried to capitalize. There was a brief moment where they did go for a fight. It just wasn't very successful. I think that's one where Flash X was forced to back off. So what they just need to do is they're trying to bait Rogue into the jungle. I don't think Rogue's taking it. They're just staying very firmly in their lane, only going to the jungle if they know there's no one there. I think Sibs is the only one that we're seeing venturing down into his own jungle. Because he's got that stealth, he is able to creep away, whereas Hammy and Evo don't have that privilege of being able to do so. So I feel like we've come to a bit of an impasse between the two teams, not much is happening, and that's just playing right into Rogue's hands. If they just keep going on like this, we're seeing, oh, best Chuck.
I'm not sure Sibs has landed the one shot onto his target every time, but he hasn't missed with it. So he continues to just throw these out. It's very Von C, or reminiscent of Von C Kestrel playstyle, the way he's throwing those one shots out. But we do see the level 9 infusion onto Hammy. Evil stepping forward. Koshko getting pretty good damage. It looks like Rogue gonna try and back up here. Yummy kind of frenzy is gonna be blocked off. Hammy kiting backwards. Stealth Sibs, but that's not long enough. Sibs is down. And that was the Atlas Pauldron out by Evil, but not slowing down TSM enough. Force to Cord pulls him back. Hammy trying to make some damage happen. I don't think they need like 2 Hammies at this point to make it happen. Prove me wrong, Hammy. He's rooted up here. Chop down, double kill for Best Chuck. Ace for TeamSoloMid.
Ace for TeamSoloMid, and actually it was a very good fight at the start, dare I say, for Rogue, because we saw Von C, he was sitting at the tree ants position, just jumping over the wall into Hammy with a Yummy kind of frenzy, and it got blocked. But it did leave Von C in a terrible positioning, and actually it was a really good opportunity for TSM to turn that around, sorry, for Rogue to turn that around. However, that's where I'm pointing Sib's positioning is that he was actually right beside Chuck NA the whole time, just getting a lot of damage taken down. He wasn't able to do much, he was just trying to run away. And it was a good opportunity. I just don't think Rogue completely capitalized on it. It was a nice response that they had to the attack that Von C just put out, but didn't retaliate the way I wanted them to.
it felt like for me when they walked into that tri-brush that they didn't have full knowledge of where TeamSoloMid was, and they couldn't really react. Like the moment TSM was on top of Evol, it was just like a full retreat from them, of which they couldn't set up with an active camo or get a really nice clean engage that they would be hoping for. But it does show that Rogue's feeling a little more confident about their movement across the map.
Yeah, they are. And well, we're seeing Evil just picking up 4 flares then. I think in terms of scout traps, we've been seeing some put out, but they're being put on quite the obvious places, so it's been quite easy for for Flash X just to set them off every single time. And we're just seeing that those scout traps being placed down by him, and he's got quite good vision across the whole map. Well, certainly surrounding the crack and put anyway. Oh, best Chuck every single time.
Every time right here, right? Sibs slap and flash with some of those glimmer shots. Force the cord is going to come out blocked off there, so no harm, no foul. And Vainglory jumps forward. He's going to miss that out camo. Oh no, Sibs! I saw what you wanted to do. It just didn't come through for him.
You gonna question him this time? Are you gonna question him?
No, there's no question. We knew what he was trying to do. It's just Vainglory was quite slippery.
I'm gonna question it.
Uh-oh.
He was in stealth and he went back to try and land the active camo stun. Not a good idea, especially if we've got Koshka who's able to dance around it every single time. So that's why I'm going to be questioning here.
Oh, the real questions.
Real questions.
I
Easy
get it.
questions.
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying, but you don't want to question him, so...
But it's like it's like he was going. It felt like he was going to die, no matter what happened. So, like he was basically, you know what? I'm going to activate this camera right here. We're gonna make
You
the
have a
play.
glass empty kind of person, aren't you, Humanist? I can tell.
That's right.
That's right.
You know what?
Well,
All
it's
right.
9-2. It's 9-2.
Let's see this. Let's see this active camo into the force to cord, into the core collapse, into the ultimate combo here. I just want to see someone get shredded.
And the quibble as well. You said this at the very start. There's a really obvious wombo combo that we can see coming out from Rogue. I haven't actually seen even the slightest glimmer of that wombo combo.
Not even a
Best
glimmer
Chuck
shot of
in
the
8,
wombo
high
combo.
position.
Yeah, force to cords come out, blocked off again. Kraken taking pretty good damage. TSM trying to think what they want to do, and they're right back in. That's going to be the Impale landing.
Oh,
Sibs
Sibs.
standing his ground, but it is not enough here. Hammy's trying to make these healers go supernova. He's low on energy. And they only have one turret remaining here, Shingy. This looks like TSM trying to close this game out. Good chance they should be able to do it here as Vainglory's on the backside of this Vein Crystal. And Hammy just doesn't quite have the damage here. I don't think... Vainglory gets it. Well, game 1. All right, there you go. Going to TSM. Rogue put up a very good fight. They made a couple, small mistakes along the way, but you could see like they actually looked pretty clean for a good portion of that game.